Okay, I'm going to start this with a question. Remember when Alita Blu-rays were about to be released? I had the countdown at the end of a lot of videos that I put out there, and we were just so excited about those Blu-rays coming out and Alita, and we finally been able to really push those Alita sales and help ourselves get the sequel. And remember how excited we were about that? And do you remember how basically nobody, and I mean nobody, was talking about Captain Marvel at all for the longest time, especially not on this channel, because I'm an Alita fan. I don't care about Captain Marvel. I really don't give a crap. And I expect that most Alita fans, true Alita fans, would feel the same way. So who out there couldn't wait till Alita hit the Blu-ray shelves so they could talk about Captain Marvel? Raise your hand. Who out there was waiting for that? Who was waiting to talk about Captain Marvel? Because that's exactly what happened. When Alita's Blu-rays hit the shelves, people instantly, automatically started going off about Captain Marvel. They couldn't wait. They couldn't wait to talk about Captain Marvel. Got to turn these notifications off. Now, why is that though? That's the question that I have. Because at some point you got to stop making excuses. You can't blame the media for this one. And I'm talking about the fact that Alita Army is now being blamed for this recent resurgence of the fight or the rivalry between Captain Marvel and Alita Battle Angel, where Alita Army is the one who is being blamed now. Alita Army is what's being connected to the Alita Challenge, which was to me was always just meant to help Alita, but I guess to some people out there it was really just about owning Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. It wasn't about that to me. But now I feel like deleting every video that I made about the Alita Challenge because I don't want to be associated with that. Because it was always just a love for Alita to me. I never had any other motive. My motive was just Alita. Now, here we are. Alita Army is now being put out there in the media as just basically the new face of this Captain Marvel versus Alita war. And I'm not really in the mood to hear any more excuses. I'm not in the mood to hear anybody try to justify or try to blame the media for this, because we had already done so much good. We had done so much good over the past few months, and nobody was talking about Captain Marvel. It was just about how positive, how fervent, and how passionate the Alita fans were. Of course, you had people out there still accusing us of hating Captain Marvel and all this other stuff. But for the most part, Alita Army was becoming an example of something that was positive, of something that other fan bases didn't have, and that was a non-toxic fan base. But now, Alita Army is being called toxic. Now, Alita Army is being associated with people who cannot stop hating on Captain Marvel. So once again, which one of you so-called Alita fans out there could not wait to talk about Captain Marvel when Alita Blu-rays hit? So I'm just going to go through this a little bit, but I'm not too much, because the bottom line is it doesn't matter why they made the connection to Alita Army. They made the connection. Here, let's look at this. Let's start right here a little bit. Haters of Captain Marvel, in his purported feminist agenda, use Alita Battle Angel as a weapon against the Marvel film. But why? And why in recent months did the Alita Army rise up again? We never had anything to do with that Captain Marvel hate. But I can't blame the media for this one. I can't blame them for this one, because there was absolutely no reason to bring up Captain Marvel again at all. But people did it. And they fought me over it. So I can't blame the media for this one. So the Alita Army has been here. At least we had our hashtag since March. So it's not that we rose up again. We were always here. But some people were not aware of that. For some people, this is their first exposure. This is their first time even hearing of us. And what they're going to hear now is that suddenly when what they're going to hear now is that suddenly when Alita's Blu-rays went on sale, the Alita Army came out and started bashing Captain Marvel. That's what they're going to hear. But for me, it was always about Alita. It was never about Captain Marvel. Let's see here. You're going to see that one animation that I did not talk about the other day. I was tempted to, but I did not. Let's see here. I think this is where it talks a little bit more about the Alita Army. It is important to note that the supposed Alita Army behind the Alita Challenge are not supporting Alita Battle Angel because they like the movie or its source material. This is a major website here. They may be crap, they may be trash, but they're major. And a lot of eyes are going to see this now. And now we're being accused of being behind the attacks on Captain Marvel. They're doing it to attack Captain Marvel. If someone happened to end up enjoying Alita Battle Angel as a result, that's well and good, but the challenge was never aimed at supporting the film on its own merits. Now we're linked up with the Alita Challenge, which is exactly what I did not want to happen. And I tried my best to keep us separated from it. I tried my best. To keep us out of it. And other people in the Alita Army tried to keep us out of it. Because we are not associated with this culture war. So, but at the end of this article, they do admit that there are two factions, and which I really wish they hadn't even brought Alita Army up at all. But since they did, I have to, and of course they're going to cite Adam White's article now, right? Because we've given them fuel. We didn't have to give them fuel. Like, remember, I took the blame for my part in that. All right, yes, the Independent was wrong to say the stuff that they said about us, but I gave them fuel for that attack, and I own that. I said I messed up. I gave them fuel. I was the one who made the video about the journalist Kylie Harrington saying that we couldn't trust her or whatever, and that ended up hurting her feelings, and I assumed things about her motive that were not true. I basically did to her what the Independent did to us. And so, but we patched that up, we made up, and I own my mistake. And I didn't do it again. I learned from my mistake. So I can say that, yes, I gave them fuel, but I learned from my mistake. I didn't do it again. But what's wrong with people that they can't learn from their mistakes? And I can't take these excuses anymore that people have. It's not the media's fault this time. So let's see here. Let's read on a little bit more. Let's start here, and it's murky. And it's a murky puddle of conspiracy and hysteria that just made Alita Army the most unexpected community of individuals on the internet, but representative of the internet as a whole. That's what Adam White wrote about us. And then I'm going to go down to where it talks about the fact they know that there's more, that we don't all agree on this, but they still decided to bring us up anyway. So now we're lumped in with it, whether we like it or not. And there's the animation that we told this person was going to be a bad idea. We said this is going to look bad on us. You shouldn't do this. This is going to look real bad on us. But those people didn't care because they're in it for the culture war. I don't believe these people love Alita anymore. I don't believe it. I no longer believe that I used to believe that these are people who loved Alita, and they were also tired of the Captain Marvel hatred, or the stuff that was coming from Captain Marvel and the stuff that's said about them as white males and all this stuff. But right now, at this point in time, I no longer believe these people give a damn about Alita, because they keep doing stuff that actually hurts Alita. And even though we've told them, don't do this, you're hurting Alita. Don't do this, you are hurting Alita. And they brushed us off, and they wanted to do what they wanted to do anyway. So this is what happens. Now, Alita, instead of us celebrating Alita's Blu-rays, instead of us talking about how well Alita is doing, now we're talking about Alita versus Captain Marvel again. This is what they wanted, though. This is what they wanted. They got what they wanted. The media didn't do this. Can't blame the media for this. So let's see here. Here's the bottom line here. The supposed Alita army is comprised of two real factions. These faux fans and people who genuinely enjoyed the film and would long to see the story continue despite its mediocre box office. We didn't even have to be mentioning this at all. But as you know, I have just been fighting people for like the last 2 weeks or whatever, maybe even 3 weeks, about them, asking them, pleading with them not to use our hashtag to attack Captain Marvel, not to drag us into this culture war, which we didn't want to be a part of, because we managed to do so much good all the way up until this point. By sticking to the path we were on, we did so much good for Alita and for the Alita fan base. And once we got that hashtag built up to the point where John Landau came out and said, "I love the Alita Army," where the Alita social media came out and said, "Hey, Alita Army, are you here? Are you there, Alita Army?" And you had people, celebrities saying, "Yeah, I'm Alita Army now." You had Nick Carter saying, "I'm Alita Army." All these people talking about Alita Army, and most of them saying very, very good things. Very good things about us. So some of y'all need to get took to the woodshed about this. Because I tried to stop it. For whatever reason, though, you had to start talking about Captain Marvel again. You had to start bashing on Captain Marvel and fight us over using the hashtag, which we told you wasn't meant to be used that way. You could have made up your own hashtag. You could have did your own thing. So, can't blame this on the media. You got to own this one. You messed up. You screwed Alita Army over. You screwed Alita over. You may not think you did, but you have screwed Alita over. Because now she is associated with this stuff. You want it to go away, right? Do you? I wanted it to go away. And we were doing good at making it go away. We were doing really good at making it go away. But clearly some of you didn't want it to go away. So you got what you wanted. You got Alita mixed up in this stuff again. And it's not doing her any good. You think Rosa Salazar wants to be associated with this at all? Is this what you think Rosa Salazar wants? Well, you got what you wanted.